Well guys, we finally caught a rain day here at the shop and Aaron's back to work. The old Volvo has got some issues. Let's get her in the shop and I'll show you what we got. It is definitely a wet and soggy one. Good day to be working inside. Well, man, behind the scenes, I believe the issue seems to be in this region here.
Bad operator or?
No.
Flaw in the weld?
You tell me. So here's the issue. This looks pretty innocent here, just being loose. But if you get looking on fuller inspection, this whole coupler is busted all the way across here. It's busted here, it's busted there, it's busted here. What's happening is this thing is spreading. It's getting wider, and it's turning into a big problem.
The older you get, the wider you get. I mean, it's just.
Well,
hey.
We need to put my excavator on a diet then. Not only is it getting wider, it's getting sloppier. So I don't know. I've had a coupler on my my John Deere 120, 12,000 plus hours of digging. It got a little loose, but I never broke it, never busted it. This machine's got 2,500 hours on it, and this coupler is borderline totaled. I don't know what it looks like on video, but it is borderline totaled. Now, I do know I've put about 500 hours on this machine. And the previous owner supposedly dug stumps, and he was digging stumps with a 42-inch bucket, which would put a lot of pressure on this coupler. But I still don't think it should have come apart.
I got stick. That's why I like stick.
So what? So you said that's a MIG weld, and you think that's part of the problem was the type of weld they used? I
think so.
So how can you tell that's a MIG weld?
For one, you can tell just by looking at the weld versus how slick it looks. You can see how slick. So that was probably setting right like this when they welded it.
So you don't think they didn't grind that out or nothing? They just surface welded that?
I think they just surface welded it. They didn't grind into it to put a good root in it. So we will do that on this one. But you can tell your welds from a, you know, you'll see like the roll of dimes. They say a stack of dimes or something like that.
So that's a MIG weld.
That's all MIG welded. That's all MIG welded.
So where's an example of a stick weld?
An example of a stick weld is here, where you can see how it's kind of ribbed going across the weld. That's all stick weld there. That's all stick weld. But that's how you can kind of tell your difference between an easy way. Then you get up here to more of that MIG weld. Gotcha. MIG's quicker, and you can push a lot more metal with MIG, but it's also not as strong. Also a good example of my point of why it ain't as strong.
So this is what I think we need to do, man, behind the scenes. I think we need to go ahead and take that coupler completely off the machine. I think we need to take either the machine or build an apparatus and try to suck it up as tight as we can. And then from there, what do you think? And gouge it out? And
I think so.
Go from there. If you guys remember back in the day when I bought the machine, that boom pin right there does have some wear in it. So I think we're going to go ahead and replace the bushings and the boom pin while we got it apart. Trying to get the coupler tightened up. I did price a new coupler from 2 different companies. Both of them were around $10,000. I'm thinking we could buy a lot of sticks for that.
Yeah.
So before we go buy a new coupler, we're going to attempt to fix this one.
If it works, am I worth $10,000?
I'll give you 10,000 attaboys to Cleveland's birthday present.
You could, I tell you what, I'll make a deal with you. Get this fixed, it works. You gotta fix my go-kart that you sabotaged.
Sabotage your go-kart.
Well, why am I missing the front sprocket?
Well, it's because you don't know how to drive. Hope you can weld better than you can drive. Well, I guess first things first, let's, what do you think? Just lay that thing out flat on the floor and see if we can drive some pins out?
I think so.
All right, let me lay her down. Taking this coupler off should be pretty straightforward. We got 2 hydraulic hoses here that operate the quick attach, and then we got a main bucket pin and a curl pin back here. So Aaron's gonna work on getting the bolts out of those pins. I'm gonna work on getting our hydraulic hoses capped off, and we'll see if we can get her off there. Had to scrounge around a little bit, but finally found some caps and some plugs to get that disconnected. Aaron's got the bolts out. Well, looks like somebody cheated.
I got a signature approval on this that I just cut that off, that there was a bolt back here that we had and we don't have one to match that. So now you gotta make a special trip to town, get a new one.
I'm not sure if that's in the budget.
We'll weld that head back on, no problem.
All right, so I guess, have you tapped on the pins? Do they move?
Getting ready to try.
Let's see what happens. So you got your certified sledgehammer there.
Certified sledgehammer and our pin driver. Start on this one first.
Sure. Hey, that moving pretty easy.
That. Okay. That one's...
I think we can just pull it out.
You think?
Well, if I didn't have to hold a camera at the same time I was working.
Here, I'll hold the camera.
Oh, yeah. Let's see here. What's
You just wiggle it. Good job. There you go. Getting close.
Good
news,
ready. It's well greased.
You about got it. It's right there. You're getting close. Yeah, wiggle it.
Good thing I have my safety crocs on for that.
Huh. Yeah.
All right.
I'm still wearing them Ariats. Ariat boots. They're nice.
It's time for you to get yours.
All right.
And shot.
I'm driving.
Which is scary. You got insurance on? You got insurance on that rig?
Ooh, that one moved too.
See if I can do this and hold the camera.
Shouldn't be nothing. Ready?
Yep. Keep going. I don't know why I'm letting you swing a hammer. That's the worst. Like, you can do anything but that.
Hammer? You really trust me. Remember last time I was using the hammer?
Yeah.
Get you one more.
Want to go this way?
Getting close. Keep on going. There you go.
Got it.
Good job.
Well, now we just got to lift up off there.
I'm ready.
Where would that thumb's going to do when I raise it up?
Yeah. Well, thumb, you should, it's gonna pivot. All right, now it's pulling her up out. Huh?
Thumb's all right?
Yep. Smooth operator.
I said let's get our mess cleaned up here a little bit and then we'll get a game plan. You can really see where she's busted at now though, you see it?
Oh, yep. Right there, it's busted all the way off. Oh. That wasn't such a smooth operator.
Or was it a smooth operator or faulty design?
Hey, now.
Ask him for a friend. All right, guys, it's been an absolute struggle with the pressure washers, but hopefully it's well worth it. We decided to go ahead and take the steam jetting and get everything cleaned off real good. There's a lot of grease, a lot of dirt, a lot of grime, mainly because we want to make sure we can get it inspected for some further cracks, and it'll be just that much easier for us to work on. So I'm glad we went ahead and took it apart to do this, because we can get in all the little nooks and crannies and get everything really good. So while Aaron's cleaning that off, I'm gonna go ahead and get the shop cleaned up here. Make sure it's in good shape, so that when we get it back in here, we got a nice clean place to work. All right, got her all cleaned up. Swing back around, clear the basketball goal here. Hopefully I'm clearing my truck back there. Set this thing back in the shop. See what we can do with her. Tight quarters. All right, and for now, we're just gonna back this machine outside and park it, because want to put some bushings in the end of it. We need to get that coupler fixed first. All right, now we got it cleaned up. I think you guys can see that crack where it's busted out there pretty good. It's also busted about halfway across, maybe a little more on this side. And this thing is spread a little bit. So I think what our plan is, Master Welder, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
I say we go ahead and cut this bar completely out of there. Get the ends of it beveled and all cleaned up and all the fancy stuff that's supposed to happen to it.
Yep.
I think we take this old ratcheting boomer that is junk and we weld it right there. And we crank on that thing for all we're worth and try to suck it back in.
Yep. It's junk until you get yourself in a position where you need it.
No, look. Officer Hoover would not approve of that link right there because it's bent. So
it's bent.
It's not junk, it's time for it to be repurposed. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna repurpose it. So I'll let you whack that out of there and we'll see what we got. What's your weapon of choice? Wafer wheel?
Wafer wheel. Nice straight cut. I'm gonna go right up along the edge.
Oh, I unplugged your cord.
Oh.
Hold on, I'll be back. Not for sure why you plugged it in like all the way across the shop when there's like 6 plug-ins on that side.
Well, I was trying to prove my point. Once we get our electric cord reels in 4 spots on this shop, I will use the one that's open.
All right, you got a plan?
Got a plan.
I see, you've been drawing on this thing? I see pluses and minuses.
You know, I did that so I could keep it lined up just how it came out.
So that's your nice fancy bevel work?
Yeah.
So we're gonna stick weld this thing back?
We're gonna stick weld it back.
And what's your rod of choice?
7018, 332.
All right, so before we go stick welding that back in, I think first we need to weld that right there.
Yep. Now, you know, what is this called? I mean, the original name is, I know.
It's a ratcheting binder.
It's a ratcheting binder. Now, we got things like this on the job that work really good, but they call them push pulls.
Well, this is going to be a push pull. Actually, I'm hoping it's going to be a pull. All
right, and we are going with the stick welder, so you fired it up. It's ready to go, right?
God, details. I'll be back.
I don't know if they noticed, but the coupler has moved spots because somebody ain't got enough lead.
Well, let's see here. We got the welder all set up back here. We got it in the storage unit. I guess before we fire her off. It hasn't been used since, I think the last time we used it, we air arc gouged the antifreeze in it. The kingpin out of the lowboy trailer. It's got oil in it. Tad low, but not too bad. Fuel. Fuel. Firing hole. Come on, baby. Come on. Got it. Let's go put our pull on here now. Ah! Right there.
You like it right there?
As good as it gets.
Okay, eyeball.
You want me to turn you up a little bit, or are you good?
I'm gonna turn it up a hair, but I think it'll be all right to get this on.
All right, while you're welding that off, I'm gonna get a measurement on what we need. All right, so what we want to do is we want to get a good measurement on this right here. So we want that to fit around there tight. Let's see what we got. It's like 10 and 5/8 is basically where we need to be. 10 and 5/8. Can you remember 10 and 5/8, please? Thank you. All right, so down in here, it'd be about 10 and 5/8. Need to come in a good heavy quarter. Oh, she's coming, bud. She's coming. Ooh, I'd maybe just a touch more. A little more. That works magnificent. So now, the question is, whenever you weld it, will it stay there? What'd you do to your fancy little bar? All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Plus and minus is lined up. Which side you doing first?
Tell you what. Hold it straight there. Get a tack on the bottom side of this one.
I didn't know a hammer was an official alignment tool.
Oh yeah, yeah it is. A lot of people don't think it is, but it is. All right, eyeballs.
Go.
Okay.
Moment of truth, you think your tacks are gonna hold?
I hope they hold. Now, I see why this thing's junk. It wasn't because of the, there we go, I got it. All right.
Worked fine last time I used it.
Well, there it is, it's tight.
Did it go, let's see what our measurement says.
I'm pushing it back out. Right about there. Right there's loose.
All right, moment of truth. Let's see what you got down here. You're loose, right? That is money. That is absolute, that's like down to the 16th money.
All right, so now I can break this off.
I think you can break out off there. We'll throw it in the scrap pile. And you're just gonna twist that off there with the, I wanna see this.
Right like that.
Oh my goodness. I think you got that off there good enough. We can still use the threads.
I'm hoping so. Oh.
It's close.
Yeah. Took the threads a little bit, but
I think it'll still work.
it probably will. Clean it up a little bit. We can still use that.
Just don't tell Hoover. All right, we're gonna let you do your thing, and what do you think? You're gonna weld up that crossbar and then we'll flip it up on end and do the others?
Yep.
What's the verdict, boss man?
Put her on slick, or put her on thick so you can grind her down slick.
About messed that up, didn't you? So that's guaranteed not to break no matter who's operating.
That is. The rest of them welds I don't know about.
That weld right there.
That weld right there.
You heard him. You heard him say it.
I got one more side to weld.
Oh.
Or we call it.
I'll let you finish.
You gotta flip it.
I'll let you finish.
Huh?
I'll let you finish welding.
Finish. And then I'll let you tear something else up and I'll fix that too.
All right, so what do you want to do? Flip it upside down?
Yep.
You want to He-Man it or use that fancy crane thing we got?
I was gonna let you use that fancy crane that
Fair
we
enough.
got.
Fair enough.
So while I'm over here welding on this, I told him this is the stand that we got for the diesel welder. Somebody got me these little casters. They said, oh, they'll hold that up, them will work great. So weld them on. He's supposed to come over and cut them on, grind this up. This is the mess he leaves me. There. Look at this. Ground down slick, and that's how you leave it.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, camera's on. Now you're not done. Did you flip that over yet?
Working on it. All right, so we got her flipped over, and we need to weld the bottom sides right there.
Yep.
That's hot.
Yeah, that's hot.
That's hot. That wasn't very smart.
I like you do that quite a bit.
And then this here, this piece here, it's tight now because we squeezed it all back together, but it is completely broke out. So what's your plan?
We showed them earlier how it was flopped.
Are you going to grind that all the way down through there and weld it all the way up from this side?
No. No, I'm not. But I am going to grind in halfway in and weld this side up, get rid of that.
And then what are you going to do about the other side?
Well, the other side, then you're going to flip it so I can weld it flat.
But can you get in there without taking the safety out of there?
Where, in here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I get right in there like this. Oh, I don't like this. You know why I don't like this?
I'm listening.
This has never been welded here on the inside.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was trying to tell you, because that pin goes in there. You can see when they built it, that's just a splice joint right there. So my suggestion would be gouge that out or grind as deep as you can from this side and get full pin from the top side.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. I ain't gonna. What I said. Hey, what I'm getting at, you said, can I get in there and weld? I looked at it, said, oh yeah, I can.
I'll let you
and then I noticed that
Did you ever think maybe I'd possibly led you straight into a corner?
No, you're trying to talk your way out of this one, but yeah.
I think that's another reason why it possibly failed, because of the way it was welded.
All that had on there was just a cap patch.
Yeah.
There's no penetration anywhere in there. I mean, that's just to look good.
It sure didn't work good.
No, it didn't.
All right, we'll let you do your thing. I'm gonna go clean up my little project over here.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that.
This don't look nothing like a coupler.
Oh no, I want to sneak over here and...
I leave for 2 seconds and you're working on side projects.
Yeah, because I showed them your beautiful cleanup job you did.
Look at that beautiful cleanup job. I don't see one spot where the torch gouged into the metal.
After I gave you your lecture and showed people what you were leaving behind.
No, you said, I just took the torch and whack it off there. All right.
Yeah, you wash it off.
How'd this go? Let's talk about important stuff.
All right, this went really good.
Well, good.
2 fill passes, 3, which I got them buried, but there's 3 stringers on both sides all the way around. So, and all the way there around the front side.
It's hot.
It's hot.
Did you just make fun of me for doing that a minute ago?
It is hot. I was gonna try to not make an idiot out of myself on camera.
Too bad.
But then I left this open because we decided to do the full pin from up here.
Yep.
And leave that alone.
You want to, now that we got that pretty much wrapped up, you want to try to get the bushings out of that stick?
Yeah, I guess we can throw that in the door.
Get it welded around there. All right.
Yep.
And then I guess from there we'll be waiting on parts.
We got to figure out what kind of contraption we used last time, because I think...
You think, after all the pins and bushings we drove out of that 120, we'd remember how we did it?
It ain't happening.
I don't have a clue. All right, here's the plan, guys. We're gonna go ahead and replace these bushings so I've got everything tore out and down. You think we'd be experts after rebuilding the 120, but neither one of us can really seem to remember what we did. I do know, to get these bushings out, we end up running a couple beads around there. When they cool, it kind of contracts in and makes removing them a lot easier. So Aaron's gonna go ahead and do that. What is this?
Well, I lost my office chair, so I'm compromising. For the day,
I guess I'll let you use the chair since you spent half the day laying on the ground welding on the coupler over there.
Now, you need to find somewhere to put that ground.
Perfect place for it.
Yeah, right where I'm gonna, I'll weld it right to it.
Oh.
I think if you put it on the other side, I'll get this.
Yeah, that's a good idea. See, that's using your noggin there, welder.
Oh.
You want me to, you want me to turn that on for you? Or?
Shoot, yeah. There we go.
Wasn't you making fun of me for not turning the other welder on?
But I was just testing you.
Karma.
See if you catch it.
Karma. She just stopped by and say hello.
Yeah.
All right, we'll let Aaron get those welded up and we'll see if we can get them drove out of there. All right, Aaron's got it welded up around there. We got her cooled off.
Just for the record, that side was with no gas. You remember turning the welder on? But
Are you kidding me?
So, yeah, I was wondering.
I thought you were a professional.
Well, I mean, with grease and everything else in there, I thought it was just bad.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's see if we can get that one out first.
Yep.
All right, we got this one to move, but it would not come out. We couldn't get this one to move at all. So what Aaron's gonna try to do is cut a real small relief cut in there so it'll suck up just a little bit more. It's a little bit dangerous because we don't want Aaron to get into the housing of the boom, but hopefully he can get a cut in there to where we can get it sucked up enough it'll come out. So patience, man, behind the scenes. Long-winded, booger. Well, man, behind the scenes, that was a good day's work.
Yeah, it was.
They did not. We should have recorded our struggle with the power washer this morning. It took us almost 3 hours to get a pressure washer started, and a trip to town because we couldn't find the hose. But I think it was worth it. We still fought a little bit of grease. I'd say the grease guy has definitely been greasing this machine.
I have been.
You haven't been here. But long story short, guys, that's about as far as we can go today. We're actually waiting on parts. I got some bushings ordered. I got some seals ordered. And we're going to take that pin, that main pin that goes through there. It's got some wear on it. And get a new pin made. I don't know if you guys remember, whenever I bought this machine, it's been over a year ago now, this pin had some slop in it at that point. So we'll go ahead and get all that cleaned up and addressed while we're at it. Aaron's got the coupler pretty much ready to go back on. So we just need some pins and bushings and
yep,
a couple hours and we're back in business.
Be here tomorrow, right?
I wish. Today is Wednesday. I think it's going to be Monday before we get them.
Monday, huh?
Keep your fingers crossed the old 120 keeps running.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you in a few days. All right, guys. New day in the shop on the Volvo coupler rebuild project. And good news, we have some parts. We've got 2 new bushings, 2 new seals, 2 new O-rings. They did not come with 3 installations, so we'll have to do that. And the local machine shop has made us a new pin. I think this pin was the majority of our issues. It is wore pretty excessively for no more hours than what it's got on it. And I'll explain this a little bit here in a minute, but we ended up doing an updated keeper system on this. I went more with the style I got on the 120 versus what was on this one. After we get that pin installed, I'll explain why I wasn't a big fan of the way it was on there. So we do not have the through hole porta-pier because I borrowed that. We did all the bushings on the 120. So Aaron's gonna make a few steel plates. We're hoping we can just maybe use some all thread and an impact to suck them in there. So while he's making the plates for the installer, I'm gonna see if I can't go ahead and get him started going in. So see what happens. And these bushings do have to go in here a certain way. If you guys can see on this side, see how that grease groove comes all the way to the edge? And on this side, it does not. See how it stops short? The way the Volvo greases is if you put grease in this fitting here, it comes out in the center. That center section gets filled up with grease and then it forces it out into these bearings. Huge advantage of that, you got one fitting on one side of the boom for both bushings. Disadvantage is if one side gets stopped up, the other side will hog all the grease. So you just can't guarantee they're getting greased evenly, but it is a lot more convenient. So long story short, we need to make sure it goes in this way. Gosh dang it.
Was it working?
That was going in really easy actually.
Really? Good.
If you could just hold that plate up there while I hit it.
Oh, that plate you dropped in the oil. Yeah, it's fine.
You get it?
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. Okay, now we have to
Need that old bushing.
yep. I'm ready. More? You can.
There's one more little one.
Okay. I was gonna say, because that runs back a long way.
I think it's got it. I got a little bit of silicone around it towards the end, so I'm gonna do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I am.
That went in way easier than I anticipated. I didn't even need your fancy tool. No. Let's need a little bit of, actually,
this is my fancy
we took
tool.
your fancy tool and modified it. This was gonna be our pull plate, and that's the old bushing. We used it to drive it into the counterbore. Custom rebar handle, 1/2 inch, you know. Only the best for you, man, behind the scenes.
That's right.
Shock resistant gloves.
Yep.
Now, let's hope we didn't get too cocky. Let's see if the other side goes in as easy.
Yeah.
One side there.
It disappeared for a while.
No, I need all the help I can get, bud. Well, man, behind the scenes, I think it's time to see if we can get that main pin in. I got a feeling this is gonna be our battle for the day. Mm-hmm. You prepared to go to war with it? You would think, as many times as we've done this, we'd be experts by now.
Yeah.
But you know, one thing I did learn in the past, I think we should take that pin and make sure it fits before we get this thing all lined up, and for some reason it don't go through the hole.
I got it.
If we try it, it'll probably fit. If we don't try it, it won't fit.
I know it. Oh shoot, it's stuck.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a little tighter.
Yeah.
All right.
So we know the pin fits.
I think the fight's going to be getting those O-rings in there. And I think our best bet, I think we need to get that thumb folded around, get the stick down in the coupler, and then see if we can pry it left and right and get these things wedged in there. What do you think?
I think so.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready. No. Yeah, it's real tight.
Well,
the only thing I can think is we can put that jack back on it, so we'll bring it back apart.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to.
And then once we get it in there, we're gonna release the pressure off. It's gonna be tight.
So here's what we got going, guys. This thing's got a little bit of a lip war on it right here. Long story short, we were just like a touch tight, which I think we're still good. We're gonna take that lip off right there because I don't want it to ruin the seal and to give us a little bit of extra clearance. And then for the sake of getting this thing spread enough to get those seals in there, I think we've decided we're gonna go ahead and weld our boomer back on. What did you call it, push pull?
Yeah, push pull.
Whatever you
say. Push or pull with it.
We need to push this time.
Yeah.
It pulled too good, so now we need to push. So hopefully we can get that spread enough, we can get those seals in there without too much trouble. So let us tweak on that a little bit and we'll try it again. All right, got the inside faces cleaned up. We got our pusher on there. We got her spread about what was it, about a ½ inch?
I'd say, yeah, we got to spread about a ½ inch, but I think taking that lip off, we took close to a half. So
we're about ready to find out. Let's see if she slides down in there.
Are you looking at it still?
Yeah.
Bring it down?
Yeah, bring it down a little bit. Okay, hold that.
Got her in there, guys. This thing is going to be tighter than it was when it was new. It's going to be awesome. So that last method of lowering the boom and the O-ring all down in there at one time seemed to work really well. I think at this point we're going to go ahead and cut this off here because we lack about a ¼ inch of getting the hole lined up. So Aaron's going to go ahead and get that off there. Now that we're done with it, we will lower the thumb down, and hopefully we'll start getting that main pin all lined up and shimmed. We're getting there, buddy. We're getting there.
Yeah.
All right, man, behind the scenes, we've got our push pull off. Our O-rings look absolutely amazing. Like, we actually, looks like we knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
That tight, I mean, that is tight. I like it a lot. So here's what we got to do next. We need to lower the thumb down because the pin has to go through the thumb, through the coupler, through the stick, through the thumb, no, through the coupler, then through the thumb again. Oh, you guys get the order. It's gonna go through a lot of things. And there's a bunch of shims involved somewhere. So I think first things first, let me lower that thumb down. Let's get the thumb lined up with the coupler, get that part in, and then we'll wiggle the rest in. What do you think? Nice. All right, make sure she drove up tight.
Bounces, so it's in there tight.
All right, man, behind the scenes, this is our new locking system. Remember the bolt we had before?
Yep.
That thing caught on everything. Didn't do a very good job of protecting the shims.
And you demolished them.
I did demolish them. We're gonna blame that on Jerry. So here's the new system. Got 4 shims on there. We got a cap. It's got a counter bore in it. We got 2 Allen head screws that are machined out for it. Little red Loctite. So we're gonna bolt that cap on the end of there like so. This is the same system the 120's had on it for years. It has worked awesome. So we're gonna convert this one over while we're in here. Can you find the hole there, bud?
Found it.
Not trying to get personal here.
There you go.
I guess it's gonna work rather nice.
Okay, hold that.
Over tighten you?
Nope, you're good.
In theory, that counter bore, if this thing gets hit, takes a lot of the blunt force. We just got to keep it up there tight with these 2 little Allen screws. So
Ooh, yeah, nice and tight.
that should do the trick.
Get them tight.
I'm telling you, this thing wasn't this tight when it was new.
No,
All right, the only thing we got left to do is get that pin in there. I think you guys have seen us struggle with that one enough. Pretty much the same thing. We're going to do this one the easy way. Gonna do the magic way?
I think so.
Bam, guys, there she is. She all installed nicely. Look at that. All the O-rings are in there. Everything is super tight. We are currently getting her greased, getting everything back in tip-top shape. I got tired of holding the trigger, so I installed my automatic trigger holder in there. But Aaron's working on one more shim. We decided we're gonna throw one more shim in there, tighten that up a little bit. But guys, I think that's gonna be a wrap on this one. Back to work she goes. Back to work she goes. You're making an awful lot of noise over there.
Huh? Oh yeah, sorry about that. Getting close.
Tell them bye. We're done.
Oh, we're done, ain't we?
We're done.
Hey, we'll catch you on the next one.
We're gonna. Now, last time you screwed it up. Now you're premature.
You said we're done, so I'm just saying.
500 something videos in. You'll get it right one of these times. So, all right, we're gonna finish greasing. We're gonna install that last shim in there. We're gonna walk this machine out here, and I swear, I promise.
Hit the like, subscribe, and comment. And
You got it. Nailed it.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I gave up on my own videos because I'm getting it every time.
Nothing nonsense. We'll catch you guys on the next one.